The next question, question 7, will go to Commissioner Eiler. And I'm going to ask it because it's transportation, and this question I covered many years ago as a reporter. The 21st Century Parkway was seen as something that was needed, a corridor to move traffic 25 years in the future. We have I-435 now that will take a lot of traffic out of our neighborhoods and let them go a long distance. The 21st Century Parkway was voted down, and I think, Annabeth, you voted on that, if I recall, but I think you're the only one here that did. Do we, as we grow west and as we grow south, and I know this growth has slowed down somewhat because of the recession, as we grow west and south, do we need another major highway corridor to move our traffic off of our neighborhood streets?
Thank you. I'll respond first. Yes, by a majority vote of the Commission. I was assigned chairman of that Transportation Cooperation Council. At our first meeting, the entire committee, not unanimously, but voted to defer activities of that commission. So we, responding to the vote, that commission is dormant, can be reactivated any time by the chair or the county commission, but the members of the committee voted to take that position. As to the highway question, my priority would be a north-south highway on the west side of the county. I think that's where our focus on the next major highway in the county should be, running from Edgerton to K10 and eventually connecting to I-70. That does
the intermodal connector?
The intermodal connector, whatever you want to call it, but that should be the priority. The other thing it does is to help open up the development of Sunflower. If it would run down the western part of the county, I think that's where our priority should be when you're talking about Beltway or additional major highway systems in the county.
John Segal, same question.
Well, I think the people who came up with that had tremendous foresight, and they were right. Now, where the exact route should have been, I think there was contention over that, and that's maybe what doomed it. But I think we would have been better off had we proceeded with at least planning and setting aside the right-of-way. But this gets to the real core of the issue here in our community, and is this road going to support the continued sprawl, if you want to call that, outward, and the building of more and more infrastructure that we all are going to have to support with our tax dollars in terms of the maintenance of it. And so that's why the TCC, the Transportation Cooperation Council, that went dormant, or was allowed to go dormant, is really going to be critical, because are we going to spend millions of dollars to build a new highway, or billions? Are we going to focus on maintaining the highways that we have? Are we going to use that money on our local streets? We can't add more lanes to 435 unless we double deck the thing. So we have a real problem in this community, and we have leadership, if you want to call that, that's not willing to lead and tackle these tough issues. So I think that there should be an additional ring road, but I think it should be built as a toll-only road so it doesn't come out of the taxpayer's pocket. And we need to focus on discussing our transportation issues in this community and defining, and that road will be built not to encourage more development, but to deal with the traffic problems that we have on interior roads. I'll finish the rebuttal.
Annabeth Serval.
Yes, Tim, you were right. I was the only commissioner, person present here that was on the commission at the time of the vote. It had been going on 15 years before I came on the county commission. It had moved from 135th Street to 199th Street, even in Miami County, different accounts. It's a classic example of what happens when you don't involve people from the beginning in the process, which has been one of my goals always. The first public hearing on that road was held when I was the first time I was county rotating chair. And I said before my year was out, we were going to vote on it. And that was the first time the public ever got to talk. It definitely was a concept that was needed. There's no doubt about it. It's just that we've been in court forever solving it if it had passed. We do have something in place. The county chairs from the 5-county region have gotten together and talked, and this was part of the outcome of a South Metro Connector vote at our commission. Mr. Lindstrom and I suggested that we would like to have an alternate program. We have met. Deb Miller and her folks have met. They've done phase 1 of the discovery of the process, and phase 2 is ready to start, being held up for money from the state. But it would include Sunflower. It would connect Sunflower and BNSF and come across the county and go into Cass County.
John Copaker.
Yes, yeah, to clarify, I was not there when the vote was taken, but I would vote against when Ms. Serbaugh said that she was there when the vote was taken. You said the study was 25 years ago.
No, the study that was done projected ahead 25. In other words, they said that the road itself would be needed for at least 25 years. But the idea was to buy the right-of-way so that in the future they could put down the pavement.
Okay.
This was back in the 90s, mid-90s, Annabeth, or 94, mid-90s.
Okay, so we moved 16 years into the future, and now we have very, very expensive homes possibly in the way, and it becomes a property rights issue. It becomes an issue of protecting people's property rights. It becomes an issue of eminent domain, and all of these things come up. Is the county going to use eminent domain power to take people's property away? No. If I'm chairman, that would never happen. I would ensure that I would protect people's property rights. Yes, you do have to plan for the future. Agricultural land, pasture land is a lot cheaper. The study being done 16 years ago, it would be reasonable and logical that the plan would have to move farther south if it was to happen at all.
And I have a rebuttal, 1 minute.
The idea of the 21st Century Parkway has come and gone. I don't think there's any doubt about that. There perhaps are some arterials, like 199, that can be improved to carry higher volumes of traffic, but not the concept of the 21st Century Parkway. Again, I think our focus should be, and the leadership and the chair and the commission should be focused on that western north-south county highway. I think there is a good possibility to look at some different funding mechanisms, and tolling, part of it, certainly could be one. But I think that's where the leadership should direct the commission.
Rebuttal, John Segal.
It would be interesting to know what the chair voted on, yes or no, on that 21st Century Parkway. I'm finishing my thought. The road is needed not to encourage sprawl outward, but to alleviate the traffic bottleneck that exists today and will continue to exist at the 435-935 interchange. Even with the millions, tens of millions of dollars that are going to be spent to untangle that, there's still going to be traffic problems, and there'll be more with the intermodal, and more as we continue to develop. So we do need to build it, but not as a toll road to connect 70 to I-35 around the outside of the community. But we're going to get into the difficult tangle of resources because there's only so much money, and someone's project in this community is not going to get funded because of that, and it's just going to create a bunch of hard feelings. And that's where we need to bring the community together and determine whether this is a priority with the cities that are within this community. And the lead chair is the best place to start that effort.
And that's rebuttal.
I thought I made it clear I voted no. It was a 4-1 vote against. The Karna plan was created as a result of that. The day that it was voted down, the motion included the creation of a east-west, north-south arterial support program where we would start buying right away and indicating where it would be to help replace so to speak, the road that had not been agreed upon. The road is needed. Yeah, I think the real problem with it failing the last time was that the state was not involved. We at county governments, now it's going beyond just Johnson County, which makes it better, but it needs to be in cooperation with the state. County government cannot build that kind of road alone, and I think the 21st Century Parkway, if we had state involvement, very well may have occurred.
John Topiker, 1 minute rebuttal.
I don't have a rebuttal to that question. I've already stated my opinion.
Okay, we